Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Tim back again. So I'm finally finding time to do part two. I'm gonna try to do this all in one shot. I'm gonna try to wrap it up because I've got a, almost, not quite this size, maybe 3/4 of other stuff that I've picked up. I know I've gone nuts. So this is part two of my pickup from my meetup with Brad and the record fair that we went to at the end of September here in Orlando. Had a great time. If you haven't checked out Brad's channel, he actually won Andrew's Tales from the Crate 1,000 subscriber contest. And wow, you're not going to see the stuff that him and I got together from him in anytime soon. Go check him out. So anyway, tonight what we're listening to is from that haul. Finally have this in my collection, and it's a 70s reissue, which means it's thinner on the backside than it is on the front, and I can read the liner notes through the damn vinyl. Good old Dynaflex, but I'm happy to have a copy of Surrealistic Pillow. Fantastic album. So that was from my haul with Brad. So like I said, we're gonna jump in. I'm gonna try to fly through them. So hey, a minute 30, and I've already shown vinyl. New record for me. Another copy of this one. It's a Beautiful Day, classic psych. Mine is an original press, but it has a skip. It's a little worn, so picked this one up. It looked okay. The lighting in the warehouse was, so I have good hopes. I'm hoping, but it's a later press, so we'll see. I fell victim on the vinylize on this one. This one looked good to go, but unfortunately, it skips on Lowrider, which I have on 45, so I'm okay for the moment, but I will upgrade this. This is Why Can't We Be Friends for More. Fantastic release from 76, I believe. 73, because, you know, I'm smart. Obviously, Lowrider, Why Can't We Be Friends, the big hits off of that one. Happy to say I finally picked up some BB King. Saw this one was real super cheap, like maybe $1 or $2. The cover is a little beat, but BB King live at the Cook County Jail. Glad to add this into the collection. Have not given this one a spin yet, but it's next on the list. Some more John Mayall. This one is actually a good old gold stamp promo. I gave this one a spin earlier this evening, and it's okay. Obviously not. He definitely has some heat in his collection. But this one was, I don't know. I mean, it was hit and miss for me. So I'm gonna give it a couple more spins and see if it's gonna grab me. Oscar Peterson Trio. This is Affinity on Verve. This one I believe is a first press on Verve from 1962. When you're in the mood for just an amazing piano jazz, Oscar Peterson is a great go-to. It was an okay album. Gave it a couple of spins. Side two, yeah, I'll show you the tracks. Side two to me was a little bit better, but still enjoyable listen. Glad to have some Oscar Peterson. Some 80s blues from good old Mr. Eric Clapton. I know a lot of people don't like necessarily his output in the 80s. That's when I saw him, so I kind of have I won't say an affinity, but at least a warm ear to it. So glad to add that one in, and that one was relatively cheap, which I also picked up from the same vendor, August, because why the hell not? This was actually the tour that I saw him on. Big hit off of this one was in the way that you use it from The Color of Money. And again, I'd say a soft spot in my heart for that era, because that's when I saw him. And oddly enough, he opened up Robert Cray of Strong Persuader. Robert Cray brand was absolutely fantastic that night. I think they were the welcome surprise. I want to say the hit off of this one was Smoking Gun, if I remember correctly. That would be what the hype sticker says, you dummy head. But it was a really enjoyable show. Had a lot of fun. Robert Cray's energy on stage was just absolutely electrifying, not flying. Well, maybe too. But he was just a lot of fun. Really got into it. Great axe, man. Solid blues. It was just a fun night. So it's kind of fun that I picked. I think I've shown the CD of this not too long ago, but I was glad to pick that one up on vinyl. Another War. This one played a lot better. Deliver the Word. This is an upgrade for me. I did not have the special liner on the one copy that I had. This Latin infused funk slash jazz that War was really known for, that spawned a lot of different, I won't say, well, okay, I mean, a lot of things they were known for, including working with Eric Burdon, which was just a fantastic album. Spill the Wine, their stuff, World is a Ghetto, Deliver the Word, very enjoyable to my ear. Really enjoy it. Something Hannah will approve of at the Omaha Introvert. Hooligans from The Who. So this is a nice comp. It is, in fact, another gold stamp promo. I think I've actually skipped mentioning a couple. There's a lot of them there. It was really ridiculous. So, to me, any Who is good Who. I'll gladly take it. And this one was fairly inexpensive, too. This one I couldn't get the sticker off the plastic, so you'll see that I paid $5 for another copy of Otis Redding's The Dock of the Bay. This one's actually on Volt, so I'm going to go through mine. Mine, the one that I already have, excuse me, I can talk, is on Atco. So I really wanted to get a Volt pressing of it, and I'm going to kind of compare and contrast, see if I'm going to keep both or one, so we'll see. Some more John Mayall. This is the jazz blues fusion. This is a live album. I have not given this one a spin. I wanted to kind of give the studio one a spin first, but something tells me this one's a little bit earlier in the 70s, so I'm gonna enjoy this one a little bit more. So glad to pick that one up and hoping to enjoy that one. Back to jazz. I bought this one just on the strength of that lineup. I mean, Herbie Hancock, Freddie Hubbard, Wayne Shorter, Ron Carter, Tony Williams, just absolutely fantastic lineup. Album is a two-disc live. They absolutely play very, very well together. But it's one of those things that it's better on paper, believe it or not. Nothing wrong with this album. It's absolutely fantastic. But it's one of those things like when you have 5 master chefs, somebody could spoil it by wanting to shine, and I think they know when to step back a little bit and kind of share the spotlight. But still, you were, at least me, I was left wanting more from a couple of the players. I thought the moments that Ron Carter got to shine were absolutely fantastic. Same for Tony Williams. Herbie's keyboards cut through really well, so you could pick him up. I thought Freddie and Wayne had to kind of share. It's still a good album. If you find it cheap, I do recommend it. It's a great live. But I was talking to Andrew from Tales of the Crate, and it's one of those things that if you're in the mood for Wayne Shorter, you probably won't pull it out, or Freddie Hubbard, or so on and so forth, because you're only going to get tastes as opposed to the whole meal. Apparently I'm hungry. Ahmad Jamal. This one is one. Pick this one up. Again, another one of these promos. Pick this one up because they had a couple interesting covers on this one. They cover Billy Joel's Just the Way You Are and Black Cow by Steely Dan. So, haven't given this one a spin yet. I'm a little, I won't say nervous, but I tend to like Ahmad Jamal's earlier stuff, like late 50s, mid to late 50s, 60s. So it's obviously a different part of his career. So I'm looking forward to giving this one a try and see what it's got for me. Apparently we've hit some jazz. Picked this one up from my buddy Justin at Triangle Vinyl. He was there. This one is Sessions with Cannonball Adderley and Buddy Collette. So basically it breaks down to Cannonball Adderley has 4 tracks on here. Buddy Collette has 3. There's a couple of others. So right now I've been on a very big Cannonball Adderley kick, and in fact I'm hoping that I can pick up the Record Store Day exclusive for Black Friday, which looks absolutely fantastic. So Cannonball Adderley actually was born not too far away from here in Tampa. Maybe it's just the hometown love coming through. Picked up some Dave Brubeck live. This one has featuring Jerry Mulligan, Alan Dawson, Jack Six. It's the last set at Newport, and this one was recorded, I want to say 71, excuse me, July 3rd, 1971. Really good live set. Works very, very well. You essentially get 3 tracks, one of them being Take 5 Live. Absolutely. I paid a decent price on that one, so I'm glad to pick this one up. Another one I fell victim to the vinylize on. This is a, if not very first press, very early press of the wonderfully mad, crazy, insane, acid-laden world of Mr. Arthur Brown. The vinyl cleaned up okay. A couple clicks and pops, but nothing that was too distracting. So I got lucky on this one. Possibly thinking about picking up one of the reissues just so I can have a clean copy. But just some great, crazed out, freak out, garage psych, acid trip craziness. Because the cover doesn't tell you that at all. Speaking in the psych lane, picked up the Eyes of the Beacon Street Union. Was very happy with this one. I really wish I could remember when I was flipping through. Brad and I both recognized. I can't remember who showed it recently. I mean, like within the last couple of months. Definitely piqued my curiosity. It's on the MGM label. Really enjoyable. Not your top shelf psych, but definitely a great one that you can go to time and time again and have the decent moments of weird, but not too weird. So I found that one very enjoyable. Another psych. Excuse me. Yeah, I'd maybe call it psych with a little bit of blues influence. This one is The Illusion. This is their debut on, was it Stag? Yeah. Yeah, no, Steed. I can read. Jeez, I'm tired. I've actually found this very enjoyable. Actually, I ended up finding that I wanted to spin it again right when I was done. So, again, this one looked very familiar to me. And if someone showed it recently, please comment, because I really thought I remember seeing somebody show this one as well. So whoever did, good on you, because really enjoyable. Found this one, and this one's pretty affordable too, along with the Beacon Street. So I really enjoyed this one a lot. Had a good time spinning that one. One more in the, this is more blues oriented, and this is Rhinoceros. This is their debut on Elektra. I liked it. Don't get me wrong, I liked it. Not that I'm stalling for words. I really enjoyed it. I found it a great listen. It's more blues with a I don't know, it's weird. It's almost got a Santana feel at times, which isn't bad, but it definitely had that kind of feel to it. So I'll give you the track listings there. I actually found pretty much the whole thing well put together. It was a good time. So I was glad to add Rhinoceros to the collection. Thinking about definitely looking at picking up some more. So the good news is I got about like 6 left. So we cooked. We flew through this. But now here comes some big ones. So Cannonball Adderley. This is, again, I apologize. I know I've been showing the heck out of Cannonball Adderley. But for good reason, because he's really talented. So this one's actually a 2 LP set on Milestone, and it's actually 2 of his early issues reissued on Milestone under one of those weird kind of comp covers. But I mean, you're talking about just a crazy lineup. I mean, Art Blakey plays on one of the albums. Bill Evans, Mill Jackson will give you the lineup here. So what this is, show you the cool little crazy gatefold there. Nice little write-up on it, but it's actually 2 LPs. Minority and Things Are Getting Better. Both done on the, believe the Riverside label. So obviously early stuff in his career. So you're essentially, and I want to say I paid, I don't know, maybe $5-6 to be perfectly honest with. So 2 really well done albums. I found the Art Blakey album much more enjoyable. I'm not saying the other one was bad, but of the 2, I would probably go to that one first, which was the second disc. So enjoyed that. So a while back, I had shown that I had picked up my first Miles Davis, and it was the Saturday night at the Black Hawk in San Francisco. And now I've been able to complete it with the Friday night set, and just ridiculously good. Absolutely fantastic Miles. I mean, this is early in his career, well put together sets, just amazing musicianship. This one is a later issue. This one's on the Columbia limited edition label. My Saturday one is an early press, but don't care. Absolutely is just incredibly well done. Excuse me, I need a drink. Brought to you by the fine makers of iced tea, because why not? And I didn't have any rum in the house. So 4 left. And these by far are the crown jewels. Prince's debut. Little gold stamp promo action. I'm a huge Prince fan, and I've had his catalog on CD for quite a while. And I'm going back and trying to get the vinyl. Not, if nothing else, just to be able to preserve it and enjoy it. The man's output is absolutely ridiculous, and he didn't have to stop. So very fond memories of this one early on. I wouldn't say I remember when it first came out. I was probably like 8 or 9. But being is that I grew up in Maryland and listening to a lot of soul music as a kid because it was around me, I knew of Prince early on, and just absolutely stoked to have this in the collection. Just, to me, there's not a bad track on the whole thing. Just is amazing. Going back and watching him even at this time, it's funny to think how comfortable he was putting himself out there in kind of garb that normally would get you ridiculed or mocked, and he didn't care. This band needs no introduction. This band doesn't need anything to be said about them. The only thing you need to do to this band is put it on and get funky. And I do mean a funky. Good old funkadelic. Standing on the verge of getting it on. So, huge Parliament Funkadelic fan. They are the cornerstone of funk. If you are having a funk conversation and you do not bring up good old Papa George P. Funk Clinton, you have a problem. Amazing band. Always had a great lineup. This one, if I remember correctly, Eddie Hazel does play on. So the covers on these were not in the best of shape. Yeah. So you can see we got some spine issues here. Doesn't matter. The vinyl was in decent shape. The vinyl on this one's actually in on the Westbound label. This was before they went to Warner Brothers. Vinyl has a couple of marks. They're light scuffs. I say light as one of them is fairly long, but you don't hear it. So plays fairly well. Got a good deal on this one. And it's Buddy, One Nation Under a Groove. I mean, those covers are just fantastic. I can, you can smell the Indonesia coming off of that artwork. Just absolutely great stuff. I mean, I've never heard a Funkadelic or Parliament album that I just went, nah, I don't think so. No, they are just an absolute fantastic time. So this one did not, however, come with the 7-inch, so I'm going to be looking to grab that and add that. Last one, and I wouldn't say it was a grail. It was very high on my most wanted. I bought it at a good price. I mean, it was a good price, and it wasn't until I got home and cleaned it that I realized why I got it at a decent price. It's got some warp issues, and the good news is it does not affect play. So it plays through just fine, and you don't get any of that sound distortion of a warp that, even though it plays it, if it's got a heavy warp where you get the up and down, you don't get any of that. So I'm lucky, I know. But if you are not familiar with this album, you need to go check this out. This is Frigid Pink's debut. Detroit band around the same time as the Stooges and the MC5. These guys were known for their fuzzed out, crazed version of The House of the Rising Sun. It did a little damage on the charts, but as quickly as it came, it was gone again. And unfortunately, the band never really recovered from that. They never really put together a great run of hits or things like that. But absolutely fantastic band, great album. So that Detroit late 60s sound. They were a little bit more on the blues influence, which came through. They didn't. I wouldn't say they were as hard as maybe the MC5 or the Stooges, but still, you kind of get an idea. So can't speak highly enough of these guys. This was a great album, and I'd heard it before streaming it online, but the person actually had a couple. I could have splurged a little more and got a cleaner one. Like I said, it looked good there, and I was like, wow. Cover had a couple of issues, so I thought, well, maybe they're just it's one of those you didn't pay much, so you kind of write it off for a little bit, and just kind of one of those you try to get people into your table because somebody heard a couple good deals, and it was warped, but like I said, it still plays fine. I can't believe it. We're done. It was an absolutely fun day. Had a great time. So if you get a chance to meet somebody who's a good person, in the VC, and we're all out there, there's been a lot of, there's been a lot of bad eggs recently, spoiling things for people that I consider friends and things like that. So, but if you get the opportunity to connect with somebody who's real, who's honest, do it. Have fun, because that's what it's really all about. All this other shenaniganry, that's not us. That's not what we're about. Absolutely had a blast meeting Brad and hanging out and just talking music and and life in general, and it was a very positive experience. So I really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun. And was able to come away with a nice stack of stuff. That's a bonus too. So now I need to turn this off crash out because tomorrow's another work day and get to do it all again. But the good news is I can start on what looks to be the better part of, let's say 70 records. I'm a madman. My wife is going to kill me. Thanks for watching, everybody. For those of you who may be new or watching for the first time, if you like what you saw, click that subscribe button. I do appreciate it. Even if you don't, just give me a thumbs up or a comment. Just let me know what that you stopped by. I always appreciate it. I try to respond to everything. I do apologize for those that I've been trying to get back into the groove of watching again. For those of you who don't know, I work in a insurance field, and I am the data department. So a lot of reports, a lot of analytics going on, and because of that, I'm burning a candle at all kinds of ends. In fact, I just stopped working on the laptop before I filmed this, and so now it's time for bed. So I'm watching. I'm trying to comment, but I do apologize if it feels like some of my closest friends are putting out videos and I haven't commented. So know that I'm there, and I love you all, and I appreciate everything you guys do. You guys have given me a lot of happiness. So take care, everybody. We'll talk soon. Peace.